Yo, what's poppin', everyone? Here we are out on the lake. Yeah, that's right. We're doing some fishing, and guess what? This is actually the second episode of The Pursuit of a 10. As you'll recall in the first episode, essentially the goal is to become a big bluegill expert. The goal is to catch a 10-inch bluegill, which, you know, is a very feasible thing. It's a nice trophy-sized bluegill. It's certainly not like a world record, but it is a really healthy quality fish. That being said, I do want to get started fishing here in a second. What I am going to tell you is I highly doubt that we're going to catch a 10-inch bluegill on this body of water because it is severely overpopulated, but I think there's some good lessons to be learned from that, so we're going to go over those while I fish. Also, I'm fishing with my good man, Seth. Seth is a homie of mine. Actually, we did a trout float last year. It was a lot of fun. And I tell you what, I'm excited to fish with him. So let's get started. I've got 4 ultralights with me. You know, I still have the same ultralight that I actually used last time with the 1/32 ounce chartreuse mule jig and a Karma colored donkey tail junior. I'll probably fire that thing around quite a bit, but I've got some other rigs set up as well. As mentioned, this lake is actually super overpopulated, and what's gonna be a problem is there's a lot of bluegill about that size. What I'm hopeful for is actually some bigger pumpkin seed, because I will totally embrace that. I love pumpkin seed, and there's some really nice ones in here. Oh my gosh, dink, dink. Seth, how about that one? First fish, absolute dink. I'm literally getting short strikes every single cast. These are like really small fish. I need to be using something even smaller if I really want to land them. There's another, what is this, another bass? It's another bass. This one's actually bigger than the last one, believe it or not. How's that possible? I don't know, but that was an interesting release, and now I have a hook in my finger. It's okay. There's probably some nicer bluegill around somewhere. I just don't know where they go. I would assume they'll isolate from some of these tiny fish because they're probably not super interested in hanging with a bunch of dinks. I mean, you know, that's like being in high school, like you're a senior. You know, you're not gonna wanna hang out with all the freshmen, right? It's not a good look. I'm gonna try something different. So I've got my Okuma Salilo 6'6" ultralight with 2-pound fluorocarbon on here. And I've got a 1/64 ounce chartreuse mule jig, but it's under a float. I'm gonna do a float rig, and I am going to fish it nice and slow. And I'm actually gonna put a little Berkeley power bait honeyworm on there. I love these little things. I'm not sure how it'll work. It's gonna be a little chunky for some of these really small bluegill, so we'll probably have some short strikes, but I think it'll be good for larger bluegill. I think they're really gonna like this. Got that set about 3 feet under that float. I'm just gonna work it off here while Seth is re-rigging. And let's see what happens. Oh, already getting doinks. Already getting doinks. Oh, it's gonna be hard to hook these fish, man. They're such dinks. There's one on there. I knew I had one on it. I was nervous I was not gonna get him because he's so small. Look at that, there we go. That would be a little pumpkin seed, it appears. It might be a hybrid, I can't quite tell, he's pretty small. Whoa, all right, well, he's gone, so we can't really observe him anymore. Oh my gosh, he's got it. Yes, got him. Hey, he doesn't feel terrible. He's got some fight in him. And there is the taker. There's the culprit. A 4-inch bluegill. Hey, we got the right species. We got the right species. The wrong size, but the right species. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there's 5.2 billion others just like you in the water. See, buddy. Also, major shout out, huge shout out alert, shout out to Lawson. That is Seth's son. Lawson's the man. He's a future master angler here in Michigan. He's gonna be catching those big ones one of these days. Hopefully one of these days we can fish together, Lawson. There's a fish. Hey, there we go. Better than the last one. What is this? That's a gill. Yes, sir. There we go. Pretty decent for this body of water, and I'll tell you what, I like it. I'm gonna get it back because obviously I want this fish to keep its genetics in the system, because there's plenty of genetics much smaller than that. Hey, Seth's got a decent one too. All right, well, we found an area where there's not bad fish. Got him. Ooh, I think this is a pumpkin seed. I see like some neon blue. Oh, wait, what do we got? This is, it looks like it's a hybrid, I believe. I don't see the red ear on there, but I see a lot of pumpkin seed. Oh no, he's got a concussion. Concussion protocol. He's got a lot of like neon bluish to him. It's clearly a pumpkin seed. He's got some broken lines, but it's a pumpkin seed bluegill hybrid. Respectable fish. And sorry about the concussion, buddy. I think he'll be okay. These fish are oh my gosh, he's taken off with it. Okay. That's more what I was expecting today. All right, buddy. See you later. Oh, what is, if that is a bluegill, my gosh, it has shoulders. That thing has shoulders. He's got, no, I missed him. He had shoulders. The problem is, oh, shoot. What? How did that happen? I broke off. I have tied on a new jig. This is a 1/80th ounce. It's got a smaller hook on it, so that way I will be able to hook more of these short strikers because they're gonna be able to get their mouth around that little hook. And I'm actually gonna put on a gulp minnow. I don't know what happened, but my float came off and I don't see where the peg is. And I guess I'm just gonna fish this without a float, which is totally fine. I've actually got a couple split shot on there. I was planning on doing a float rig, but now I guess we're just gonna go without a float rig. I don't know what happened there, but somehow my float came off and I don't know where the peg is. So that's great. There we go. That's a gill, and that's not a bad one. You know what, let's just, for size reference, let's see how long this fish truly is. This one's just shy of 7 inches. I don't catch a lot of fish much bigger than that out here. Very beautiful fish. Nice colors on her. All right, see you, buddy. He was carrying that. A little bit bigger than some of the micros, but still nothing to write home about. What's this? Another dink. Dink City, man. Dink City. They are tearing up this gulp minnow. It's taking no time. Okay, quick update. I tell you what, as I expected, we're catching fish. They're just not very big, but I tell you what, it's still a lot of fun. I'm never gonna complain about catching fish, and little bluegill up in the shallows with ultralight is always a good time. Even if they're just like 3-4 inches, it is what it is. That being said, there's something very important to note about stuff like this. One thing that I learned, I think I learned it from like a fisheries biology podcast one time. Ben Neely in Kansas, he's a fisheries biologist, and he brought light to this subject that I actually had no idea about this. But it's an awesome learning. Bluegill, they have the ability, when they consume food, so they get the calories, they can allocate those calories either to reproductive abilities or they can allocate them to growth, so like physical growth. So when you're in a situation when there's not very many big fish or big bluegill in the body of water, the bluegill will actually allocate their energy towards reproduction and just trying to continue to expand their pack. When there's a situation where there's already big fish present, what they're actually gonna do is try to get bigger to compete with those larger fish. And so what's happened here, I believe, this is my theory, this is my hypothesis, I think that at one time this lake probably had some pretty big bluegill. But I think based on kind of the culture here up in Michigan, a lot of people love to catch and keep bluegill, especially during the spawn. I have a feeling that a lot of big bluegill, big male bluegill specifically, have been caught over the years off of beds, taken home and thrown in a frying pan. And what's happened is that once those bigger fish have been taken out of the body of water, a lot of the bluegill are starting to focus more so on reproduction capabilities. And so essentially we've got a long-term problem here on this body of water where it's probably gonna take a lot of effort by fisheries biologists and by anglers, quite frankly, to make this actually good again. For as long as we know, this is probably going to continue to be a very small bluegill factory. Regardless, it is an interesting subject. I don't know much about this stuff, but I do know that that was such an interesting fact to me, and that has lived with me for the last several months, and I know that it's gonna live with me forever, because for me, I think one of the biggest things with fishing is like being an advocate for conservation and just trying to make sure that we're doing what's right for the health of the ecosystem. And I think sometimes it's like, that's something we don't think about as anglers, but it's something that I certainly want to bring light to, and it's something that I certainly want to learn more about. So I'm hoping to have more conversations with fisheries biologists in the future, because I just think it's fascinating. Regardless, that was a lot of rambling, but I did think it was important to say. So let's get back to fishing. Dude, you got the smallest fish of the day. Look at it. You beat me. Oh,
dude, I'm chumming the water.
Dude, if you use,
right
he went through the hole. Dude. Okay, so I just loaned out my ultralight to Seth for like 2 seconds, and he caught a bass literally this long. Let's just keep experimenting. Try this little spoon here. I've tried it recently. I didn't have any success with it, but in a situation where there's so many fish and they're very aggressive, this could be a good opportunity to gain some confidence. Oh, there we go. I caught one on the spoon. Yeah, an absolute dink. Okay, so the spoon definitely does not get near as much love as a plastic. Like, it doesn't even hardly get short strikes. All right, I'm gonna switch into yet another ultralight. We've got the Donkey Tail Junior in the Dakota Sunrise on a 1/64th ounce mule jig. You know, we might as well just keep catching fish on a little bit of everything because it's fun. It's a 4-inch largemouth, but look how small it is. There's my finger, there's the fish. All right, see, buddy. The wind is blowing me down this bank, I'm catching dinks all along the way. It's another dink. Quick update, I tell you what, honestly, the fishing's, great, right? I can literally just drop my jig in front of my kayak and fish will start eating it, but I just don't know what to do necessarily to find bigger fish. I gotta imagine that there is a population of larger panfish in this body of water. I just don't know how to necessarily target them. I think they're kind of just mixed in, and it's kind of just like a luck type thing. You make 500 casts, you're gonna catch 490 bluegill that big, and you're gonna catch a couple bluegill respectable. And it's pretty crazy, but anyways, I have a package with me from Discount Tackle that I got in the mail today. I didn't have time to open it before I left, but it's got something that I'm actually excited to use for future panfish trips, and so I'm gonna go ahead and open it right now. Shout out to Seth for holding the camera. I've never had a camera guy before. This is cool. This is what I'm excited about. It's such a cheap purchase. It's literally marker buoys. But what's so nice about this is when you get on like a deep school of crappie or deep school of bluegill or whatever, and being in a kayak, getting blown around, it's super windy today, you drop this on that school or in a general location that you can kind of use as a marking spot, and then you can just kind of, I don't know, you just kind of can stay on the school, you can stay on the fish better. And so this was like literally like $11, I want to say, just some eagle claw marker buoys, but these are gonna come in handy. Anyways, let's get back to fishing. I'm gonna change to a black Donkey Tail Junior because this water's pretty dooky and I feel like it'll work quite well. If this is a bluegill, it's a giant. It's gonna be a bass. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh buddy, oh buddy. All right, okay, this is gonna be, okay, this is fun. No, no, no. No, no. I had him by a thread there and he kind of got down and into my drive and into the grass, and you're fighting him on ultralight. It's kind of, you can't control some of that stuff. Oh well, I don't know. I don't know. Probably should just be like sight fishing. Oh, what is this? What is this? Oh, is this a dinky bass? That's a dinky bass. I thought it was like a little chunky bluegill. Oh my gosh, this bass's belly is so fat. This girl has been eating little micro cheeseburgers, dude. Holy smokes. Buddy, I respect ya. You got a chunky little belly. I approve. Even though this video is kind of goofy and it's certainly not catching any big bluegill, I hope that with that comes a lesson. I hope that you guys realize just how important it is to be, conservationists when it comes to how we treat our bodies of water. You can have bodies of water like this and just be catching fish like this all day long. And that's great. But if you ever want some of those quality fish, those larger 7 to 10 inch bluegill, you have to treat the body of water different. Buddy, go home to your friends. You've got plenty of them. Holy smokes, there's a bass on a bed right here. Okay, well, let's back off and let's see if we can catch this fish, because why not? Oh my gosh, he was on a bed for sure. Hey buddy. Oh no, oh no, he's jumping on the dock. Look at this, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Seth, he's got me under the dock, oh no. Oh no, okay. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, chill. All right, I'm on somebody's dock. Sorry, buddy, but I tell you what, I had to catch this fish. Oh man, Donkey Tail Junior. He was on the bed. Beautiful little fish. I'm gonna put him right back to his bed. I did not expect to find a bedding bass today, and I totally just trespassed onto someone's dock. Kids don't do this at home, but I tell you what, it was for, I wanted to catch the fish. Hey, nice, we caught a nice fish today. Oh, that has got to be a bass, but it's fighting like a bluegill. That's got to be a bass, though. It's way too big. I wish it was a bluegill. If this is a bluegill, we have 14-incher. Holy smokes. It did some like circles, and usually when they do that, oh my gosh, 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 guys. How does this happen in a situation where we have such freaking overpopulation? Holy smokes. Oh, holy smokes. Guys, what? I was like coming out here with no thought that we could even possibly come close. This is a nice fish. This is probably, I'm gonna call it 8.5 is what I'm gonna guess. Yeah, it's 8.5. It's a legit 8.5 incher. This is not a bluegill though. This is a bluegill pumpkin seed hybrid, I believe. And you look how tall that fish is. Holy smokes. Guys, it's the size of my daggum face. Holy cannoli. 8.5 incher, a pure joy. See ya, buddy. How the heck do we catch bluegill this big all day and then you stumble upon a daggum 8.5 incher? I got dookie all over my fingers. This is fun. The last 2 fish I caught, I mean, it's been a good time. Seth, what the heck? I knew there was a chance of some nice pumpkin seed, but I didn't necessarily expect that to happen. That was a beauty. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I just caught an 8.5 incher. That was awesome. Freaking yes. I'm only an 1.5 inches away from my goal, and we're in episode 2. Yeah. So random, I feel like. Oh, look, this is the next fish we catch. See, we go from 8.5 inch bluegill pumpkin seed hybrid to a bluegill that's 3.5 inches long. So that's good. Oh my gosh, a big old bass just came up and smoked it. Holy smokes, what? What are you doing? Holy crap, I look down, this guy just hammers it. What the heck, it caught me off guard so much. Maybe I should use my net. Okay, it's not even that big, but like I look down and I just see like a shadow slurp my jig. I'm like, ah! That freaked me out, dude. I don't know why I get so excited sometimes, but today I'm just getting excited out here, man. Oh, what we got? What we got? What we got? She's running. Woo! Dinky bass, yes! Oh, all right. Okay, well, we're after bluegill, I promise, but at this point, I've just kind of accepted fishing for whatever bites. It's totally fine. It doesn't matter. Bass are great too. See you, buddy. Okay, folks, I tell you what, we're gonna head back to the cars because we have to get home to our wives and continue to live our lives. And I'm hungry for dinner, so that needs to happen. I am like swirling up bluegill right here. It's just ridiculous. There's just bluegill everywhere. I tell you what, today was interesting. It was a lot of fun. We caught a lot of fish. You know, I was able to catch that nice one. Seth caught some nice ones as well. We had a lot of fun out here, but I think it's really important that we think about some of the conservation things. And that's why I wanted to use today's fishing trip as an example to talk about just like the difference between one body of water and the next. And it really just comes down to management. And I think it's important that we think about that as anglers. Regardless, I don't want to ramble. I've already rambled enough today. So what I want to do is go home and find something to eat. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll catch you next time.